Welcome to Proudly Said, bold voices and real stories. I'm John Highland, Scouse, queer, and still trying to make sense of it all. This space is for the stuff we don't always say out loud, but probably should. Let's get into it.
So a few of my guests have told me that where I am at the moment is called the dark side, because I'm currently in Birkenhead. We're at Future Yard CIC. My next guest at the fabulous Alabama Whirley is about to do a workshop prior. Are you doing a performance tonight? Have I just made that up?
No, it's just workshops
It's just the
today.
workshop. It's doing a workshop, but she usually is on this stage. We've took her over to do an episode today. So I am with the fabulous Alabama Whirley. How are you?
I'm good, thank you.
I'm not. It's the day after the night before. That's all I'm saying. So straight away, let's just get into that. Okay, so we're here for a workshop. What is it that you're doing?
So today we're doing ghost painting workshop. So we get a load of paintings from a charity shop and people come and paint ghosts on them.
Okay, random.
But they're the kind of really shit paintings that the charity shops are going to just bin anyway because there's no one's putting them on their walls. We do that. So we do like loads of little crafty workshops through the year, but then the main thing we do is the cabaret shows.
Yep.
So we do the majority of them are here. We've only ever done one not here in Future Yard. So
Really, that's like this is like your home.
yeah, it's our house.
It's our
It's our house that we pay to hire. We pay rent. And we do fat positive cabarets. So all the performers are fat and plus size.
to say fat and positive.
Fat and positive. They are fat and positive, but they're also fat and plus size performers, all of them. We do that here. We've done one in Leeds. We were like, we're going to go on tour. Did Leeds. And then I thought, I can't be arsed going anywhere else now.
I don't blame
I
you.
live 10 minutes down the road from here.
Don't blame you. So your cabaret is it's glorified cabaret. What made you want to get into that kind of space and put those kind of things on?
So I've been a performer for about 8 years now. I used to be a pole dancer, and then I got booked for a gig that was meant to be pole, and my mate who was running it went, I've measured the height of the ceiling, but from the floor, not the stage, and it's not actually big enough for a pole. Should we get someone else? And I went, no, I can do burlesque. I'd never done burlesque in my life. I decided,
Fake it till you
instead
make
of
it.
giving up a gig, I was like, I can do burlesque.
Yeah.
It's fine. And I prefer burlesque. It's less dangerous.
Okay, so that was like an accident.
It was accidentally, but I've always loved burlesque, but
Yeah.
just watching other people do it. And then I found from being a performer and trying to get booked for gigs that I wasn't getting booked by people. And then their lineups would come out and they'd all be straight, able-bodied white people, straight size. And you'd think, oh yeah, well, I wonder why I'm not on that. It's because the fatty's going to ruin your aesthetic of your show. So I'm such a petty person that I was like,
I'm going to do
fuck
my
it,
own
then I'm going
shit.
to do my own, and it's only going to be fat people. So fuck yeah.
So how long have you been going now?
About 3.5 years now.
And it's constant.
Yeah, it was meant to be one show. It was meant to be one show, and that's it. And then everyone was like, "Come back."
So you like made a thing of it.
I got bullied into making a thing of it by the audience.
One way of putting it.
It was meant to be one show. It was a little one-off thing of me just spitting my dummy out and be like, I'll do my own then. It's only going to be fat people. And then it was people going, when's the next one? When's the next one? And then it's gone on about nearly 4 years now. I've lost count how many shows we've done.
Do you think is it because of that positivity of aesthetic and vibe that you probably like bring into the audience that like, no, we want more of this because it's not stereotypical?
Yeah, I think a lot of the feedback we get is people have said, I've never seen someone that looks like me on stage.
Love it.
And it's the representation. And that's from people who aren't performers. They just go out with their mates and go to a show, or they see things online. And the majority of the feedback is, I've not seen someone with my body type or someone that looks like me. We get a lot of, I didn't know fat people did burlesque, because they've never seen it.
Yeah.
They've never seen anyone do it that looks like them and they can relate to. And then we get a lot of, you've made me want to go and do burlesque now, or you've made me want to go do drag, because they've seen someone on stage that looks like they do. And there's not the, I can't do that because I don't look like anyone that does it. Whereas now they've seen someone that does it and they're going, oh, I could do that.
I love that.
And it is a dead nice feeling of just, first of all, you're not the token fatty on the lineup to make them look inclusive because they want to tick a little box. and that you've got such like a community, because not all of our audience are fat people that come. We've got all kinds of people that come to it, and it's nice that it's not just people going because those people on stage represent them. It's people that want to support it, and that it just shows that people do want the inclusivity in cabaret, and they want to see different body types. And it's, you know, all well and good that you've got a lineup of really skinny, slim, you know, size 10 white able-bodied women that have got amazing costumes, they're amazing dancers, they look fantastic visually. Yeah, that's gorgeous, but it's not personal. It's just very much, oh yeah, that looks really cool.
So is that kind of the feedback that you get? It's like, okay, we're amazed by this show, but there's also this other layer of, there's also like subconsciously a bit of a message behind it.
Yeah, and one of the main reasons I wanted to do it was that, apart from me being a petty bitch, was
that's all you need.
We want to
Just be a
see
petty
people,
bitch.
different kinds of people, and give people the opportunities that, you know, as fat people, you are fully aware that if you apply for a show with someone that's not interested in having the body diversity on stage, that you're not getting in that show. There's certain shows I look at and I won't apply to them because I've seen their lineups for the past 5-6 years.
Yeah.
And I've thought, you know what, I know what they're looking for and it's not me. And it's given a space for people sometimes that do feel like that they can apply to it and not have to worry about, I'm not the right body type for that show. We have performers that are really seasoned performers, been going 10, 15, 20 years. And we've had performers, it's been their first performance on a stage.
Love that.
Because I don't want the sort of barrier of, I've only just started performing, but I can't get onto shows to sort of show what I can do. Some of the videos that we've had of people that have applied have been them in like their back room, just rehearsing in a costume. And they've said, I'm really sorry, I've never been on stage before, but I just wanted to apply. And I'm like, it's fine. Like, it makes no difference me seeing someone rehearsing something that they want to put on a stage to someone who's done it on stage 6, 7, 8,000 times before. It's nice to give people the opportunity that they've got a safe space that they can come and perform and get on stage, and you're not at risk of, you know, people making shitty comments. I've performed before at a gig and literally been on stage and had a man that was stood to like the left of the stage at the front laughing all the way through it. And I'm not a comedy performer. I'm not funny. Like on stage,
What are you laughing at?
And he's sitting there laughing his head off the whole time I was on stage, as if it was like a joke. And I was like, I'm sitting here getting my tits out. Like, what are you actually laughing at? 'Cause my tits are fucking boss. And it's, you haven't got the fear here of you getting judged for how you look. And it's just nice to have like a safer space and like a tolerant space of doing something so vulnerable. You like, a lot of the burlesque performers, well, all the burlesque performers, they're taking their clothes off in front of 100 people.
I can fucking do it.
Yeah. It's scary. You're literally the most vulnerable you're ever going to be is you're near enough naked on stage with people you don't know looking at you and looking at your body. And as a fat person, that's, you know, we've got our whole life of people just looking at our body and judging it instantly. They don't care how nice you are or what you've done. There's people that's still out there in the world that look at you and go, well, you're fat, so you deserve a lot less respect than everyone else.
And do you find that, like, so just taking off, I'm the way I'm pointing at that person who's not there over
that
there.
Invisible man.
That guy over there. Like, was that addressed?
So, yeah. So it was at an event where I'm part of the team that run that event anyway. And obviously I couldn't do anything about it because I was on stage and the rest of our team went there. They were doing other things. And then when I told them he was gone. He was out the door.
Okay.
I didn't even see him get taken out, but he got taken out.
But he was gone, but he wasn't there laughing.
Yeah, and it wasn't nice. I'm quite thick-skinned, whereas I was just like, what a knobhead.
And it's one of them, I suppose, like, because you say, like, you're thick-skinned and, like, you half run it, but at the end of the day, it's like, not everyone is.
No.
And it's like, so you're thinking that at least he was laughing at me and not someone else who might not have.
100%.
Yeah.
I find when I advertise Glorified sometimes that I have to take the risk of when I put the posters out and the performer announcements out, I have to be so vigilant for like trolls commenting on it. Part of the reason we're not quite active on TikTok is because
it's
TikTok is a cesspit.
Yeah, it is.
And people think that they get to say whatever they want on there. And if I put performers out and their pictures out and about them and what we are, it's my responsibility to sort of safeguard them and remove the comments that come up, because if a performer said to me, I don't want my photo on the poster, that's fine. Yeah. That's not an issue. But I'm fully aware that being a fat person in real life is bad enough. But on the internet, people get very brave on the internet and feel like it's their place to say what they want. And it's my job to safeguard performers from that and keep them as safe as I can and not so much shield them from it, but make sure I'm doing what I can to not have them comments there for other people to see.
Yeah, it's like, as you say, it's like safeguard and protection. Because at the end of the day, like it takes one thing for someone to seem like, I'm not doing it anymore.
Yeah, I've seen so many performers that have had a really bad experience with an audience member and it's put them off for years.
Really?
Some of them, you know, haven't come back, not just fat performers, just in general, have had a shitty comment said to them afterwards and they've gone, I don't want to do that act anymore. I don't want to do that show. I don't want to perform.
That's sad.
And there's a lot of it in cabaret in general of people see you on stage, but they don't see you as actually human.
Yeah, you're like an object that we're like
watching.
And
we've had feedback from like early glorifieds, and someone had commented on something saying, I didn't understand their act when they were on stage. I was like, well, you don't have to.
Well, what's to understand?
It was a lip sync act as well, and it was like, what's there to understand? They look boss and they're lip syncing a really good song. And people like to just think that they can just say what you want.
People like to complain. It's a weird space that we find ourselves into, this whole free speech bullshit. It's like you've got right to free speech, but you don't have to be an arsehole.
Yeah, you got right to free speech, but you don't have to use it.
yeah. You haven't got to say something at every goddamn chance you get to say something, especially when it's being negative.
Yeah, even I've been to other shows and even when there's been genuine feedback I've wanted to give to the producer, not because I've been like, your show was shit. It's just been
criticism.
Do you know, when this happened, if you did it like this, it would probably work a bit better. And even then, I don't even want to say that. And then the audacity of people that come out and be like, that act was really shit. And I'm like, okay.
Yeah, anything
what do you want me to do about it?
Anything that we can like build on or something, or just that was shit. Why was it shit?
Yeah, like, do you want to go up and do it?
Exactly. That's it.
There are always the people that never do it themselves.
So you said something there that I was like, I was about to ask the question, and you started kind of like answering it, which I love. So I'm just like, so you have people like watching Glorified and being like, you know what, I want to give that a go.
Yeah.
And it's
all the time.
And it's simply because of the space that you've created of like, it's like a safe space of people who you wouldn't necessarily see on stage, like you were saying, like the stereotypical cabaret burlesque type visual.
Yeah.
I won't say names because they're amazing and I'm sure they would also champion Glorified and stuff like that, but you know the visual that I'm thinking of.
Yeah.
So people have actually watched it and go, I'm gonna try, and I've just reached out.
Yeah.
I love that.
I have people that come up to me afterwards and go, do you teach? I don't know. I'm awful at teaching. I used to work in a pole dance studio and I did one class during lockdown on Zoom for a chair class. And I've never felt so awkward in my life.
I mean, it was on Zoom.
It was also the Zoom part of it. I'm not a very good teacher. 99% of my routines, if you see one act, you'll see it again. It'll be completely different because I don't remember what the choreo was for it. And it was my choreo. I've made it up in my head. 99% of my choreo was made up on the bus to work.
Fair.
In my head. And then I go on the night, we'll just see if this works.
And you know what? I think, I quite like that though, because like it's not the same show every time. You could go to different.
You see the same act again and again, and it's not going to be the same.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got too much ADHD to remember anything like that. Yeah, my brain I can learn other people's choreo.
Yeah.
My choreo, I'll forget what I've done 2 seconds ago, or I'll get on stage and my mind will go black. And I'm like.
You find that's a bit of a superpower though?
Sometimes, yeah, because I've never got on stage and then gone so blank that I've stood there.
What am I doing?
Like a deer in headlights. Like, oh my God, what should I do? I wing it every time. And it means I'm not practicing the same choreo over to the point I get bored of it.
Yeah.
I freestyle a lot of my acts.
Which I think is, to be fair, which I think is sometimes nice to hear though. I mean, like you say, I wing her every time. It's like, because sometimes people see people doing something, oh my God, they must be so confident, they're so rehearsed. You're like, fucking not.
Yeah, I just like attention.
I just get up and do it.
I've got 4 brothers and sisters. I have to get attention wherever I can. That's how I ended up in burlesque.
Wow, that's a big family.
Yeah.
Where are you in the pecking order?
Second to last. Not quite the favourite,
because
I'm not the baby. I was the favourite for about 18 months and then he came along and stole it. I think the worry when people start is getting on stage and doing it, that they are going to freeze. And I always say to people, you're not, because you know that on stage, if you freeze, that's worse than, you're doing something wrong. No one else in that audience knows what you were meant to do.
Exactly.
Unless they taught you that choreo, they don't know what's coming next.
Exactly.
They don't know if you were meant to go right when you went left, or, that wasn't meant to come off at that point. They don't know that. And a lot of the time with burlesque, people just want to see tits. As long as, they've seen the costume, they've seen the tits. They don't care what you've done.
Yeah.
There's a lot of, I'm not saying it's so easy. You can just get up on stage and just sort of
Like-
dance around and wing it. There's a lot of work involved still in producing an act, a theme, a costume, everything like that. I do in my head sort of know the bones of what I want to do. But there's so many burlesque instructors and teachers and classes that I've not really come across any that haven't been open to everybody and anyone joining it. You know, you can I went to a workshop with a burlesque dancer who I absolutely love, and went to her workshop a few weeks ago, and it was full of every kind of person you could imagine. That there was people that had just gone because they were like, I've never danced in my life, but burlesque looks really fun, and I've dragged my mates to it. And
I love that.
It was just dead fun, and it's just such a nice atmosphere. You had people that were really seasoned performers, people that weren't even performers, they weren't dancers. They were
wanted
just
to do something.
You know, wanted to go out with their mates and have a little go or something.
Something different.
Yeah.
I love that. So have you found people who've done that who then have got up on stage and have like, I'm going to do this more often?
Yeah. So Spare Rib in Liverpool run classes for like 6 weeks at a block, and then they do a student showcase at the end of it. And I've been to quite a few of their student showcases and watched them and gone, I can't believe that these have only been doing this for 6 weeks. They're better than me, and I've been here for 8 years.
I'm going to book you.
I'm the worst for going to people's shows just to poach their performers.
Hey, it's all about the
No one's got performers exclusive to them. It's fine.
I was going to say, yeah. Hey, so do you do that a lot? Like a bit of a, it's not talent scout, but yeah, like you go and like look at the competition. Is that the way you to say it?
I'll go to people's shows to see not so much what performers they've got, but if I go to a show and someone's a really good performer and they're plus size and they're fat, and I think, you know what, you'd be really fucking good at Glorified.
Yeah.
I'll go up to them afterwards and go, hiya, I run Glorified. Have you heard of us? And if, you know, they say yeah, and I'm like, if you want to do a show next year, can I have your details or email me this or things like that? And I'll go. And if I think as a producer, going to other people's shows is more about seeing what is out there to book for my show, rather than I'm not going and judging everyone's shows and being like, I'm going to write notes of what they do and steal that idea. I just want to see who they've got performing. And I found so many performers just from seeing them at someone's show. We've got a performer in our show in November who came up to me at the end of the last show and was like, how do I perform? I'm a drag queen. And I was like, email us. And then I ended up with my 3 a.m. scroll after Glorified when I can't sleep, looking at her Instagram and going, fuck off their boss. Yeah. They got a message at 3:30 in the morning going, hi, yeah, no, it's really early, but do you want to do our Halloween show? Because you've got that really creepy act I've just seen on your Instagram. It just, we have applications. We keep everyone on our like email in folders of what they do. And I'll go through them. And then if we've got a really specific theme, we'll do a casting call for it, or I'll just see people and be like, are you up for this?
Yeah.
Do you want to come and do this act here? And it's worked, you know, it's worked for us.
And I think that's, at the end of the day, you've been going for 3 years, back to back, constant. So, you know, you're doing something right.
Yeah, we have a lot of performers that we have back quite a lot, because the audience that come really enjoy watching them perform. They always bring something different, or we'll have someone that'll do a show. We've not had them for like 2 years, and then I'll be like, do you want to come and do this? Because I miss you. I miss your act.
That's cute. So you mentioned something before. So like, I'm conscious. So right now we live in a world where, like, you know, the language is important, right? So you said the word plus size before, but early on you kept saying, you know, fat.
Yeah.
So do you feel there's a bit of a like, not taboo, it's not the right phrase, but like, you know, around the descriptor that people might feel a bit uncomfortable with or not right? And is it one of them where it's like, I am fat so I can say it?
I just think it's not a bad word.
Yeah.
If you went up to someone and said, you look really skinny, a lot of the general public aren't going to be offended by that. If you go up to someone and go, oh, you know, so-and-so, no, who's that? You go, oh, the fat girl. People think you're being really offensive. But if you said, oh, the really slim one, no one's going to be offended by that.
Yeah.
I am fat. It's not, Joe, I don't look in the mirror and see a size 10. I know I'm fat. I'm not offended by someone saying, you know, Alabama, the one who runs, you know, the fat cabaret, or, you know, the fat ginger one. I'm not going to be offended by that. That is what I look like. I put clothes on. It doesn't instantly make me look a different size. Mm-hmm. I am fat. It's not a bad word to use, but I am aware that some people aren't comfortable using that word. But I try and use it as much as I can to normalize it.
Right. Okay.
That it's not, you know, people, you say, I run a fat cabaret, and they go, oh, you're not fat. Like, no, I am.
Immediately, it's like oh, you're not fat. It's like a sympathy thing.
I'm like, I know I'm not. I know I'm fat. Like, I'm not. like, I buy my clothes. I'm an adult. I buy my own clothes. I know what size I am. I know, I don't know what I weigh. I haven't weighed myself for years. I don't fucking do that shit. But I know I'm fat, and I'm not going to be offended that someone hasn't gone, oh no, you're not fat.
Yeah.
I'm more offended if someone says, you're not fat. And I'm like, why are you lying to me? Don't lie.
Don't chat shit to me.
Like, don't try and like make me feel better. I'm fine with it. Like, I wouldn't be running a fat cabaret if I was offended by the word fat. Like, the reason we called it glorified was, because people love the phrase glorifying obesity, glorifying fatness. I was like,
oh, okay, I didn't get that.
Yeah. So I was like, you know what? I'll just call it that. And then how are you going to use that against me?
We love a reclamation.
Yeah, I'll just go full fat Amy and be like, I'll call myself it before you can call me it.
Full fat Amy.
Yeah.
You're going to start horizontal running.
Yeah, I do that. That's my exercise. Pretend.
So do you get a lot of people who are like, kind of like, you know what, I love what you do because you are like, I don't want to say normalizing, it's not the right phrase, but like, making it more acceptable kind of thing.
Yeah, and I think there are people that...
Acceptable's not the right word either, but you know what I mean.
I think when people use the word not in a negative way, I think at first when it's new to people, they're a bit like, oh, you can't say that.
Yeah.
And then they go, oh, well, they're not using it negatively. And it sort of makes it that I find now, if I get a comment on Instagram, usually from a fucking straight white man going, haha, you're fat. I'm like,
well done.
You've got eyes.
It's like someone saying to me, haha, you're gay. I know.
Yeah, you're like, wow.
Thanks. Yeah, thanks for telling me.
I do like it when they tell me I'm fat though, and I go, am I?
Really?
It really throws them off, and I go, I'm not my size 10. And then they go, they don't know what to say.
You're the Lulu.
I just like if you take the words away from them in a negative way, it makes it a lot harder to use it against you.
Yeah.
I just, stop them in their tracks.
I'm just visualizing the guy in the corner.
Do you know what? I want him to come to Glorified just to prove a point to him.
Yeah. Like, look at all our fabulous performers.
Look at all these fat performers that don't care because you're the one getting laughed at now.
I love the fact that we keep looking at him.
I know, he's over there.
Just so everyone's aware, he's over there.
We brought him back to shout at him.
So is that a lot of the feedback that you get is like, it's the whole around, you are literally just, representation. It's amazing that you are like reclaiming phrases that people don't necessarily feel comfortable saying, but you know what, you're making me feel like, you know what, it's not hurtful. Well, depends on the connotation that you use it, but do you know what I mean? I think feedback.
It's never going to stop people feeling hurt when someone uses the word fat against them. There's like, especially at the moment, there's a lot of talk around diet culture, jabs,
of course.
Everything. Everyone's trying to be smaller again. The whole sort of body positive movement, fat positive movement that got so much traction has suddenly gone back to when I was in school, and it was the magazines with like, she's a size 8 now, she's really fat. And it's like circling, or like, everyone's gone back. Not everyone. The narrative's gone back to people wanting to be smaller and be skinny again, rather than just embracing what they're like. And I'd never tell someone you can't lose weight, because then you're being, you're not fat positive because you've lost weight. You've got the autonomy to do whatever you want with your body. It's how you go about how you treat yourself and people that used to look like you. Once you have got to what is going to make you comfortable, there's a lot of, fat influencers that are now skinny because, and now they're pushing, you can get Manjaro for this price from this place. And you built your audience on being comfortable and making other people feel comfortable, but now that audience you built feel really uncomfortable because
you've gone the
way you're treating your old body is as if it was wrong.
Yeah.
And it's sad to see. I was saying to someone earlier that I've noticed a change in our ticket sales since the whole narrative around like jabs and Ozempic and things like that have come about. Our ticket sales have reflected that.
Really?
A lot. Because people, I don't know if with some people they feel like they can't be smaller when they used to be a fat person in fat positive spaces, that they're not welcome anymore.
Oh, okay.
Whereas they are. And, I've always said that I hate diet culture, but if someone's on a diet or they're whatever they want that is going to make them feel good with themselves and comfortable with themselves, they've got the autonomy to do that. That's nothing to do with me. I'm here for the people that are fat, that are plus size, that maybe aren't comfortable with their bodies, but they want to be comfortable with how they are now. You can lose weight and still be I was happy at that size.
Yeah.
I'm happy at this size, or I wasn't happy at that size. So now I'm happy at this size again. It's different for everyone, but I feel like a lot of time people aren't embarrassed to be in a fat positive space after losing weight, but they feel like maybe they're not welcome in that space anymore.
Yeah. Is it a bit like I've done this and now I feel a little bit embarrassed because like
I think people feel like a hypocrite sometimes.
yeah, that's exactly where I was trying to get that to.
Yeah.
Thank you for the word hypocrite.
I think unless you're, you know, building a following, for example, as a fat influencer and being all fat positive, body positive, and then you've lost a lot of weight and then you don't talk about, you've excluded fat bodies from the conversation now and act like that was never you. That was nothing ever to do with you. You could never be like that again. You know, oh, look how I used to look then yeah, you know, that is hypocritical. But people, you know, everyone's body changes all the time. Like people change. Like it's, you know, do what you want.
I'm not coming to terms. That's a fat lie. I'm trying to come to terms. The fact I'm getting like I'm in my mid-30s and like my body is completely different to what it was in my 20s, and it's like I can't just eat shite anymore.
Yeah, it's so like nuanced with how people are with their bodies, and I think a lot of the body positive movement, it got, you know, taken over by people that weren't at the forefront of when it started and who started it, and it was sort of hijacked a little bit, and the people who, you know, it was started for like black fat like men, women, and then the white people took over it a little bit, and then the ones that were like mid-sized took over it, and it just gets further and further away from the people it was created for, to benefit from. And then they're the people that get listened to a lot more than the people whose voices do matter the most in it.
That seems to be the case in a lot of things, doesn't it? Like across the board, it's like the people who should be heard aren't being heard. Which is, do you know what? It's the key reason why I wanted to start this. It's like, let's give voices to those who might not necessarily have a platform. I mean, you have a platform, but
yeah, I think people like to take over things that will benefit them, you know, financially, how well known they are, by, you know, the way companies at Pride Month stick a rainbow on everything and we'll sell more because we've got a rainbow on it. And you know, all the beauty products were like, we've got someone who's not really, really skinny on our modeling campaign. So, you know, we're inclusive now. Yeah, we've got someone who's a size 14. So, you know, we are inclusive and we only go up to a size 16.
It's like, and it's one of them. It's like, okay, you're going to pop that out that one time. Like, why is it not happening regularly?
Yeah. And now that they feel like they don't have to, you don't see it as much anymore. And you know, like when Lizzo, when she went on tour and all her dancers were plus size and fat, and it was strange because people were like, oh, I didn't know fat people could dance like that without getting out of breath. And it was like, yeah, we can. You've just never seen it before in like media because, you know, no one felt the need to show that anywhere. And when we started Glorified, was when Lizzo was still, you know, fat and her dancers were still fat and she hadn't upset the internet, and there was on all that stuff.
All that.
And I think because it was so out there and it was so obvious and it was so easily accessible for fat positivity, that when we started Glorified, people were like, oh, well, that's like a fat event as well. So let's go and see what that's like. Because, you know, Lizzo was like top of the charts, and I know the charts still think I'm old, but Lizzo was still, you know, Spotify. Really big, and she was massive at the time. The music was everywhere. You couldn't escape it. And it made it sort of like, it wasn't like going to be like not a joke, but not a sort of parody sort of thing. Because I find a lot of people think, oh, you're a fat performer, you're going to be a funny performer.
That, you know what, that's interesting.
The fat, funny friend.
The fat person's always going to be the funny one. Like, why is that? James Corden.
Yeah, thanks, James Corden. Yeah, like obviously there are really funny fat people. We have fat, funny performers. We also have performers that are so fucking sexy that, you know, I've seen straight women leave Glorified and gone, I don't think I'm straight after that.
Really?
Yeah, some of them I'm like,
just because of how sensual the whole like performance is.
Yeah, and it surprises people because I think they think that
a fat person can't be sexy.
burlesque performer and a fat drag queen, a fat drag king is going to be funny. And that's what the expectation is, that, you know, if you're fat, you're funny because that's all you've got going for you. And then they see someone who is sexy and sensual and, you know, sort of changes their mindset of what they did expect.
So I suppose there's also elements of like an individual who's come to this thinking, you know what, I've come because I want to see that confidence on stage, and they're seeing that confidence
Yeah.
on stage. So it's like, okay, that person's owning their body and they are hot.
Yeah,
I can be that.
exactly. And it's that people just are seeing things that are changing their perspective of what they expect from that. And they, as a fat person who's been fat their entire life, of people have gone like, oh, you know, oh, but you're really funny, or you've got such a pretty face.
Oh, thanks.
I'm like, thanks, it's filler. or they go, you look really motherly, and oh my god, it makes me feel sick.
Motherly.
They go, you look like you give good hugs, and I'm always like, don't touch me.
You know, it's mad the way you started saying that. I'm like, oh my god, there is like really stereotypical phrases that you kind of just like not expect, but like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, that's what people say to fat people. It's like,
Yeah.
oh, motherly, give good hugs.
Yeah,
Oh
that
my
you're
God,
going to look
nice
after them,
face.
because, you know, you're not going to be stealing their man, because my man's not gonna, you know, want to go run off with a fat girl. So you're safe.
That's mad. You know, it's just sitting here, you saying it, I'm like, fucking hell, that's one of those annoying, like, just things that you just think and do and don't realise
Yeah.
until it's like put in
So
front of
they're
your
not going to
face.
be intimidated
Yeah.
because, well, you know, I'm skinny and tall and blonde and, you know, whatever, that you're not a threat to me.
Come to glorified cabaret, you fucking will be.
Exactly. It's, people have got like the perception already of what you're going to be like because you're fat, and it's wild what comes out of people's mouths.
I just can't get over, like, you know what, I'm sitting here going, fuck yeah, oh yeah, that is such a stereotype, oh my god. And like, if you say like James Corden, Fat Amy, he's like, what? That's all they got going for them. That's so interesting.
I was talking to someone a couple of years ago about, I watched a film with Melissa McCarthy in it, and there wasn't one fat joke, and I was surprised.
Okay.
She was just a character who was fat, and her weight and her size wasn't brought into
Was never
it.
referenced.
It was never a thing. And it just showed that I was surprised that it wasn't brought up in any of the script or the, you know, interactions with the characters.
It's such a done
She was
deal.
just a fat woman in a film, and it wasn't, you know, a key part of the character. It was just, that's who she is.
So it's like, so I'm going to be one of those people and I'm going to do it. She was just a woman in a film.
Yeah, exactly. She was just an actress. It
Yeah.
wasn't anything to do with her weight, her size. She was just in the film.
But in the past, there has been elements where she has done that kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I watch films where if they've got a fat actor or fat actress, I'm
That's
sort of
part
on
of
edge,
the joke.
waiting for the joke
Mm.
that's going to come from it, and how that, you know, they're going to talk about it. They can't just let them be.
Yeah. I could talk to you for fucking hours, and I feel like I could just sit here and listen to you for hours. You say you don't really do talking. I think you should.
I don't do talking on a stage in front of loads of people. I take my clothes off on stage in front of a load of people. The reason I don't host is because it'd
You'll
be
be here
3
for
hours
hours.
added onto the show of me just chatting shit to people.
But on that note, I am conscious of time. So what do you see for glorified cabaret? Like, what do you want it to become? Like, I know you've been really successful over 3 years, but like, what if you've got one? Some people are just like, I'm just doing it. But do you have like what's the long term kind of like vision for it?
I want it to carry on going for as long as it needs to be here.
Yeah.
You know, as long as I'm still getting people saying, I didn't think I could do that, or I've never seen someone who looks like that, who looks like me, that I could relate to. As long as we're needed, we'll be here.
Fabulous.
I want it to grow. And I say we went to Leeds and we did one show and I couldn't be arsed going on tour. I'd love to go to other places
Book us
and bring it. Give us your venues.
Yeah, for free.
Please, for free. We
Get the
don't
money
make
on the
a lot
bar.
of money.
Get the money on the bar. You'll be sorted.
And I want it to grow. I'd love to do sort of like, you know, a body positive, fat positive, sort of all day festival with people speaking, with performances.
Summit.
Yeah, like
Fat
a
summit.
conference, but not a business one, a fat fun summit.
Fat fun summit.
Fat fun summit.
Painting that. That's the name.
Yeah, just bring as many people into seeing things differently and being able to see different, you know, speak to people and see performers and business owners and people that are just in general that
Yeah.
that they wouldn't normally see outside of going to, you know, the shows that they're going to are very, you know, when the Empire does its burlesque sort of tour thing, and it's a touring company that have decided they're doing a burlesque show, and they've never seen burlesque in their life, but seeing things outside of their usual and speaking to people and getting different perspectives of not even just on how they feel about themselves, but you know, the language that they use and how it affects people and how just makes people think twice about what they're doing.
And I love that because like sometimes like I'm just going to see a show and that's fine.
Yeah.
But it is all that other stuff behind it.
Because no one questions when they see a lineup and everyone on it's slim.
No, they don't.
But people question why everyone on Glorified's fat.
Yeah, even though like not that that's the point, but like that's the point.
People that have gone, why have you not got skinny performers? Like, would you say that about shows that haven't got any fat performers?
Exactly.
Or any black performers? It doesn't get questioned.
And it's throwing that challenge back.
And then they suddenly feel left out, and it's sort of like, that's how we feel.
So, if people want to find out more about Glorified Cabaret and yourself, where can they find you online?
So we're on Instagram at Glorified Cabaret, and then mine is at Alabama Whirley _
Is Whirley with a Y or an IE?
WHIRLEY. I stole it from a film, but I spelt it wrong and didn't realise it used to be my Tumblr username.
Tumblr! Yes! I miss Tumblr. Well done.
So we're on Instagram a lot. We have got a TikTok account. We don't use it a lot because I don't understand TikTok.
I mean, if your audience is on Instagram.
Yeah, Instagram is a lot easier to moderate.
Yeah, no, it is.
Control who sees it a little bit better.
And just for anything, like, I mean, this will be going out like the end of October, start of November. Is there anything in the immediate pipeline?
We've got a show the 1st of November. It's Theatre de Vampires. I'm not saying it in a French accent. I got the name from Vince View of the Vampire. It's a vampire, obviously, themed cabaret show. We've got 4 shows booked in at Future Yard next year. We've got loads of workshops that we need to book in, from everything from like rewriting really old poetry to be modern. We've had nipple tassel making workshops, crochet, painting.
I love the phrase nipple tassels in me. I just want to go.
Poetry and nipple tassels.
What a combination.
What more do you need?
I love that. So please go check that out because Alabama is fucking amazing. And like, since I said that I was speaking to you, so many people have gone, yes, can't wait to see that one. So like,
they probably warned you as well.
You'll
be there a while.
I'm dreading putting it out now. Like, what? She said this? She said that? If you want to find more about the podcast, it's at Proudly Said across all social media channels that I've bothered to put this on. If you want to join the front row, which is my little membership of less than £3 for early access, as that grows, I might add more to it. Please do so. And yeah, we'll catch you next time.
You've been listening to Proudly Said. Now, if it meant something to you, why not pass it on? If it didn't, maybe it will one day. Either way, stay kind, stay loud, and stay proud.